evening. This is Taff for another Taff's Word. I know we're on location at the usual spot that I do the live streams, but I'm finding it a little bit more comfortable here. What I might try and do is get a Katie flag in the background at some point and do it from here. It'll look a lot better whenever the Katie flag in the background. Anyway, so Tuesday night we played against Cheltenham at home. I predicted a 3-0 win. I think on any other day, if the conditions were decent enough, that's pretty much what it would have been, because Cheltenham were pretty poor. But saying that, so were we. But we know that we're not a poor team. We've seen ourselves play well an awful lot so far this season, and this was what you call an off night. But an off night with 3 points, which would usually be an off night with a loss or a 0-0 draw. One of the things I said to a lot of people is that I remember two very similar games last season, Grimsby and Morecambe at home, and they both finished with draws. So Cheltenham had chances, but we managed to keep them out. We had chances, but we took one. And that's the cutting edge. It was a poacher's goal from Amond. I've got to get it right. It's going to take some time to get used to it. But Amond scored a poacher's goal, which is something we haven't really had what you call a poacher since Scott Bowden. But Scott Bowden didn't really have the best service. Amond is getting great service from some very good midfielders. And I think we've had a couple of players out as well. Mikulski and Lamar Reynolds have been out. Reynolds was on the bench on Tuesday night, but didn't figure. Bit of a shame, but I think we've got a lot to look forward to with Reynolds. The next game we got is Morecambe, which for me is winnable again. I think there's winnable games here on in. I think we're playing Crawley away, Grimsby at home, in amongst all this, so teams that aren't performing great so far this season, we're going to be taking on. So if we can get back to playing our better football, then I could expect to see some wins, or we should be expecting to see some wins. I've got a feeling that by the end of this month we could be in the top 3. That's the reality of this season now. Pushing, happy that we're back in the playoff mix, the fans singing on our way to League One already on Game 7. I mean, that's pretty surreal if you consider where we were thinking of ourselves at Game 7 last year, at the bottom. So, yeah, you got to be really happy with it. Got to be really, really happy with it. For the future now, Morecambe, we play Morecambe on Saturday. Usually a bogey team. I think we broke that bogey because they haven't beaten us in the last 3 games. I think we've won 2 and drawn 1. We beat them up there. They drew with us down here last season, and the last time we played them, we beat them up there the season before. I think that was another Scott Bowden goal in that game anyway. I think we won that one 2-1. I think we were 2-0 up, 2-1 it finished. But anyway, that's old news now. Morecambe are one of the favourites to go down. We were one of the favourites to go down, but we've driven ourselves away from that tag. We're now an outsider for promotion. So going up there now, we should be looking to get the win, which I got a feeling we're going to. I can't make it, unfortunately. Finances ain't great at the moment, So for a trip like Morecambe, it's not worth staking the little money that I've got to go up there. But like I say, it'll be very few and far between the Saturday games that I miss. I'd rather save a bit of money for some of the other games later in the season, because to be honest with you, when times are hard, and you've got to make sacrifices. That's something everybody has to do, and there we go. But enough about my personal life and my financial situation. The players who are performing, Ben White is still absolutely out of this world, and we got him for the season as long as Brighton don't go recalling him for Premier League games. Or the other thing is League One and Championship teams may go sniffing at Brighton's backside, saying, hey, look, he's proven himself down there. Why don't you test him at a higher level? I'm thinking if the player's getting some good game time and he's playing well and with good confidence, I'd prefer to have him back like that rather than going and pushing himself to a higher standard and then failing there. Obviously he's going to be a Premier League defender one day, so the logic in it is basically keep him playing where he's playing well, and then he'll come back to us with confidence. my take. I might be wrong on that one. But again, Dan Butler had a fantastic game. His defensive work is improved so much, and I got to say the difference has got to be Wayne Hatswell, because since he's come at the club, defensively, Butler has improved every time I've seen him. He's had one hiccup against Crewe, but, you know, I mean, we ended up getting a good draw out of that game, so you can forgive him for that one. But, yeah, one of our better performers so far this year. Newbley, obviously, a bit off the boil on Tuesday night. I think he obviously shook off whatever niggle he had against Wickham. Was always a constant threat, always brought the ball down well and spread the play really well when he did get the ball, but you know, he didn't get his opportunities at goal like you'd have hoped. I mean, we didn't get that many opportunities at goal. I mean, we had chances, but not as many as we'd like to have created. But like I say, in the conditions, I'll take a 1-0 win back into the playoff mix any day. I think Dolan's looking like he's going to be our midfield leader. I like how the ball is rolled out to him and he brings the play forward from the back. Very much like Alonso used to do for Liverpool back when they nearly won the league in 2010. You know, that kind of player. And I've always been a fan of that kind of player because he's good at jumping in the air. If you notice, he wins a lot of headers in the centre midfield. Him and Labardi are good at doing that. So we've got a very strong midfield. The centre of our midfield is packed with talent and it's great. Like I've always said, we're strong in every position. Who else is a standout performer right now? Obviously, Amon's got his second goal for us, which is great. But I say they've both been... Well, the first goal he scored, he took very, very well. This one was right place at the right time, but getting in those positions is key to know to get those goals that's going to win us these games by the odd goal like that. You know, that's exactly the kind of striker he is. Joe Day is obviously showing why he's the best shot stopper in League 2, possibly would be the best shot stopper in League 1, but his distribution play is improving, and so is the command of his area. What I'd like is for him to bolster his area commanding that little bit more, and he will be the best keeper in League 2, hands down. That's in my opinion anyway. No one always have to agree with me, guys. One thing I want to say is the people that approach me a lot because they watch these blogs, the comments that you give are great. I absolutely love them. You know, obviously, who wouldn't like it? You know, someone come up to tell you that you're doing something good. But the thing is, I don't particularly like the sound of my own voice. I don't watch these blogs back. I'm not a fan of my own voice. I'm not a fan of watching myself on camera. But I'll keep doing it basically because of these comments. So for those of you who enjoy these blogs and like them to be regular, it's your comments coming back to me and telling me that I'm doing a good job is what's keeping me doing them. So thank you very much for that. Another thing I'd like, if you wouldn't mind trying it out, is the new gaming series that we're doing. Well, we're doing a couple of them there. We're doing a retro one, Championship Manager 3, back from 98-99. We're doing a save with Aston Villa, where we're in control. But also we're doing a Newport County save on Football Manager 2017. We're doing Russian Takeover. So basically the Supporters Trust gets taken over by a Russian consortium who plough 80 million into the club, buy Rodney Parade and upgrade all the training facilities and youth facilities. So that's worth having a look at. It's basically an experiment where we're tracking the progress of Michael Flynn as manager. We basically you create it with yourself as a manager, but you're unemployed. You don't take a job. You just follow what's going on in the football world at the time. Obviously, Newport County, the team we are following closely. That's definitely worth a watch. But then, obviously, my Big Six experiment, it ended a bit earlier than I would have liked. I had a problem with the laptop. The laptop conked out on me because Football Manager, when you put yourself on holiday, it rams your processors and CPU right up. And if you haven't got a powerful machine, it's prone to overheat. And unfortunately, whilst my game was saving, it overheated and I lost the save. I could go back, but then we're talking about going back to something that we've already covered. So I obviously thought, no, we've gone far enough to give a good outline on what the experiment would be, but the results within are pretty interesting, so it's worth picking up on that series. Plus, we also did Football Manager series back when we first started this channel. We did one where we took Newport County to the Premier League. And there's 80 odd episodes of that. That's definitely worth a watch. And obviously all the FIFA goals. So if you have a bit of a gamer and you like following gaming series, then look no further. Look down on the channel, and we got some good stuff on here. We got some good stuff going. For everybody else, I appreciate that we're getting more comments now and more likes. That's great. The more likes and comments we get, the bigger boost the channel gets, and the more money our group makes through the advertising. So every little helps. So every time you like a video, you're boosting us that little bit more. You get us subscribers, get people to subscribe to us. The more subscribers we got, the more we get, and everything we make gets put into either the flags that the new flags that we get, the drum. We've had to reskin the drum. That's cost us nearly 40 quid to get the new skins in. Obviously the drum key that we use to do the maintenance with it, that costs money. We want to get our drummer some gloves because he's got blisters growing up on him. Obviously things like balloons and any other sort of items that we buy to improve upon the atmosphere, it all costs money, and that's basically what our money goes on. If not, we're using merchandise and we are giving money to the club. We're buying sponsorships and things like that. The Tom Owen Evans shirt sponsorship that we've bought, that's all paid for now. So we're doing a lot for the club. We're doing a lot for the atmosphere at the Grange. So your support is absolutely paramount in allowing us to do what we do best. So anyway, guys, really appreciate you for following all these videos. It's absolutely great. And once again, I love the comments. Keep them coming. You make my head big enough, and I'll keep filming all the time. But then don't make it so big that I can't fit it on the camera, eh? Anyway, thanks again, guys. Kainty are flying. Great times. And keep up with the gaming series. It's going well. So thank you. And as always, cheerio for now and up the Kainty.